Hello and welcome to Fitness Partners. I'm Jeremy and Kelly is one of our trainers at the facility, at our facility too. Today we're doing a unique routine for the City of Altamonte. The City of Altamonte had asked us to put together a routine for their employees. And so today what we're using is, because all their employees have them, is an exertube and a resistance band. And there's different levels of the resistance band, and they're written for them, they are written on there. I happen to have the heavy one, and Kelly has a medium and a light one. We're going to go through a routine today. We'll show you how to utilize the equipment as we go. With the tube, we're just going to go over this real quick. Whatever tube you have, the easiest way, because sometimes we'll have you to stand on the tube, is you will stand on the tube. 1 foot is the easiest way to do anything that we're going to ask you to do. So if we're doing a bicep curl, 1 foot on the tube would be the easiest way to do it. If you step in with a second foot, that'll make it a little harder. Then, as you want to, if you still say it's not hard enough, what we want to do is we don't want to just step out, because as we step out, the resistance didn't change. What we have to do is step on more of the tube in order to make it harder. So if you need it harder, you have the ability to go to a wider stance on the tube to shorten it. Or 1 foot. 1 foot support, important. Now today what we'll be using is the resistance tube, and as we use the resistance band, and as we use it, it's always going to be up. It's always going to be up right around your thighs. Okay, so we don't want it on our knees, especially above our knee or below. So you're always going to have them. So if you see me with these shorts, they're going to be about right across my short, right there. So we have about a 30-minute long workout for you guys today. We'll be utilizing both of the exercise equipment, and we'll do 9 different things. We call them cycles or tabatas, and we're going to do 2 exercises in each one of those. You'll be doing each exercise for 30 seconds. You'll have a 10-second rest in between, and it'll be a good workout for you. And hopefully, this will be something that you can do. We are going to do a total of 5 routines for the City of Altamonte before it's all said and done. So each week, we'll put up another one for the next 5 weeks. All right, well, I hope you're ready to go. We're going to start with a warm-up, and it's going to be nice and simple. So we're going to start with what we call a walkout. Now, a walkout is done. We're going to do 2 of these. You come down, you place your hands on the floor, you walk out to a good plank position, and you walk back up. We're going to do that one more time. Walk it out, walk it back up. Next thing we're going to do is knee lift. You're going to do knee tuck. Got 8 of these. Now we're going to get in 4 squats. Good, nice and easy. We're going to start that all over again. Let's start with those walkouts. Got 2 of them. We're going to walk it out, hold that plank for a second. Walk it back. Now you want your legs nice and straight. You're trying to get that hamstring a little stretched out there. Bring it down, bring it back up. And let's get those knee tucks in. We got 8. And we got the big 4 squats. As you squat, you're gonna push your hips back. Nice and easy. Good, we're gonna do that 2 more times. Let's walk through that walkout. We got 2 of them. Walk it out, walk it back. Again, walk it out, and walk it back. The knee tucks for 8. So hopefully your heart rate's gone up a little bit. Got 2 of those 4 squats. Good, and the last time we got those walkouts, got 2 of them. Should be all warmed up by now. We're hoping. And the 8 knee tuck ins. And the big 4 squats. Good. Now, you might always want to have a towel around and some water around. We are going to be doing a little bit of work as we go through. You could get thirsty. Water is always important. And the towel, hopefully you're sweating. So we're going to use a timer. First thing we're going to do is we're going to use the tube, the large tube. So we're going to do our little 4, I'm gonna give you 30 seconds, and in that 30 seconds, I'll be explaining the next set of exercises we're gonna be doing. So today, the first thing Kelly's gonna do, and I'm gonna just take a second to talk about this. Kelly's seated here. She's nice and tall. Her toes are gonna point slightly forward so that the tube doesn't come up and slap her in the face. It is a safety aspect. So if Kelly's tube were here, just like it did, okay, you see what happens. And so you wanna point your toe forward so that doesn't happen. So anytime we're in a seated position like this, next 2 exercises will be in this position. We want your toes pointed slightly forward. All right, safety is the key. The first thing we're gonna do is a seated fly. Kelly gives an explanation, which she's showing you right there. That is it. We are ready to go. We'll do it for 30 seconds. Ready, set, and there we go. The little timer. So the important thing here is to be nice and tall. You slightly point those knees forward. Now, it's like you're trying, so we don't want to hug into ourselves. We want to try to act like we're trying to get our hand to the opposite knee. So this is just a little chest workout here. You want to be nice and tall, get that press across. If my feet are close together, I'm not going to have a lot of tension. So I do want your feet out a little wider and shorten the handles so that it's loose here and tight on the handles. Next thing we're going to do is a row. So you want to sit up nice and tall. You want to bring your thumb is pointing toward the ceiling at this time. And you're going to squeeze your shoulder blades together, come back. So now, we want to stay stable. We're going to engage your core, get that nice little pull coming in here. You got 10 seconds to go. It's nice and easy. Remember now that when you start pulling on this, it's the time frame you might forget and start letting your toes point in towards your body. You want them to point away from you. There's your 10-second little rest. So if the last time you did your chest fly, if it was easy, separate your feet a little bit more. Got that crossover. Be nice and tall. Nice and tall. Now we're going to end up going back and forth from using the tube to using a resistance band. So the resistance band should be right next to you so that in that 30 seconds when I go to do explanation, you'll have it right there with you. Nice and tall. 5 seconds to go. Good. So this time on the row, we're going to change our hands. So your thumbs are pointing toward each other this time. And you still squeeze the shoulder blades together. Big squeeze together. So if we get through this routine today, and you felt like, hey, I could do a little more, your option would be, do it again. That's always a good option. So this workout's going to be about 26 minutes, 26 to 27 minutes, a little quick little workout, something to get you going. Good, really sad. So we're done, we got 30 seconds. So we're gonna come up, if you want some water, get some water now. Now we're gonna take that tube, we're gonna place it around. You know, step through with one, stationary, step through with the other one. We want to get it up by our thighs. Okay, up on our thighs, right about where my shorts are. The first thing we're gonna do in this round is a jumping jack. But that's a jumping jack. Show it again, Kelly, go ahead. Option is the low jack. This is low jack, and it's no problem. This is perfectly fine. But if you got it and you want to, you can add the jumping jack. This is gonna raise our heart rate up. It's gonna be a little harder than you think as you keep going out there with your legs. But remember, it can be that low impact jack. So if you can't jump, you can't handle impact, here you go. You are ready, you got about 3 seconds to go. Okay, going into our side squat. First things first, I'm gonna show from the side. A squat starts with your hip going back, and then you go down. So, but what we're gonna do is we're going side to side. We're gonna side squat to one side squat to the other. Side squat. Now I don't want you to go way out wide. Just a little bit wide, a little bit more than shoulder width apart, and get that squat. Focus on pushing your hips back. It's all about pushing your butt to the back wall. If we start to squat into our knees is what we call it, is into your knees. I'll show you on the next round. So we're back into our jumping jacks. With impact or without, it's up to you. You can put it in. Kelly's going with the regular jack. We'll go back and forth. I'll show you some low impact jacks. They're all good for you. It's gonna raise your heart rate up. Depends on what you got today, how you're feeling, what you can do. Now the change of resistance band makes a difference too. So the heavier band's gonna make it a little harder, medium and lighter. So play around it. And you know what? If all the bands are too much, if you're doing this without the bands, that's okay too. So the bands are there for you, but if not, it's okay. You can do that workout with the bands. So Kelly's gonna show you the squat. She's on that squat. Now Kelly's gonna show me the bad squat. The bad squat, she has a hard time showing the bad squat because we've been on this so much.
More like this.
So you don't want to tuck under. So your knees should not come forward first. Your hips should go back. That's what it's all about. Squat is your hips going back. There we go. All right, we're done with that one. So we're going to get rid of the tube or the resistance band. We're going to grab the tube. This time we're going to stand on the tube with one foot. So you're going to stand on the tube with one foot. We're going to overlay the handles, and you want to make sure that they're even. You're going to overlay the handles, meaning, and you're just going to grab with 2 fingers, both handles. Our motion is an upright row. So it's going to go underneath our chin. You pull it up, your elbows go up, squeeze the shoulder blades together. You're nice and tall. Now I showed you how to do it with one foot. Now if you're doing this exercise and that tube's too heavy, drop a handle. You can always drop a handle and go with one. And if you're like, well, that was too easy, then you get rid of that one handle, get a little bit, shorten that tube, that handle, and you can do the upright row with one handle, shorten the tube. All right, where are we at?
Front raise.
Front raise, so. Here we go, we're standing on it. Thumbs are gonna be up. You're gonna bring this forward and down. Bring it forward. Now, we got 2 rounds, and if you're seeing that this is too hard, standing on one, do the same thing. Drop it, and we'll do one arm, and then we can change to the other arm on the next round, because we are doing 2 rounds. So it's all up to you, what you can do, how to push yourself, but you want to be nice and tall and straight. As this comes out, it comes away from your body. Comes away. So we want a slight bend in the elbow, not a big one. All right, we're back to that upright row. Find the one that's right for you. Let's get it done. 30 seconds is all we got. Nice and easy. You got that little pull going up. Adjust when you need to. Best thing about these, you can adjust on the fly too. You can take a half a second, a couple seconds and make a quick change if you need it. Good. All right, back to that front raise. So remember, your thumb is going to go forward on this. We'll turn sideways again. I'm using a split squat stance, where it should be. And you're going to take it right out front. And you're going to alternate it. You got it. And so as this comes, it comes basically to eye level. You're going to bring it up to eye level each time. Almost done. Good.
Nice.
All right, we're going back to the floor. We're going to use we're going to use the resistance band again. We're going to take it, we're going to place it around our feet. It's going to come up. Right there at your thighs again. This is another one where if you start to do it and the lighter one is still too heavy for you, you can make that change. We are going to do a hip lift. We're going to be in a bridge. You got to dig your heels in for me. You're going to lie back, hands are on the floor, head is on the floor, and all you're going to do is lift your hips off the floor. Your feet are about a little bit wider and shoulder width apart. So you feel that tension as you come up and down. There's always a little tension. As you come up, I want you to lift, be engaged. What I don't want is a hyper, so I don't want you to lift your way up to the ceiling. So it's just that little lift and back down. Because if we go a little bit too high with that, now hold your hips up for me for this next exercise. We can start to put a little extra pressure on the low back, which is what we don't want. From here, we're just gonna go out and in. Out and in. Your knees are just going out and in. Nice and simple. Nothing too crazy on this one. Just an out and in. So you want to make sure that your heels are dug into the floor, because that's going to help activate your glutes and hamstrings, which are the things that we're working right now. So your toes are pointing to the ceiling, heel is dug into the floor. Take that little rest, you can drop your hips, because you know we're going to start with that hip lift next. Hopefully we're feeling good. Let's get it, let's go. A little hip lift and back down. Hip lift and back down. So each week our routine will be a little different. We'll throw some stuff out to challenge you with. Each week, we hope. And if you have suggestions or if you have some questions, we want you to write them in. This is on our YouTube channel, Fitness Partners Workout Center YouTube channel. So if you put a question down for us, we'll absolutely answer it. So hips are lifted. We got those out and in. So take it out, take it in. Take it out and in. And we have quite a few, we have over 40 videos that are on our YouTube channel that you guys can use besides using the one with the tubes. We have weighted ones, we have yoga, we have Pilates, lots of things for the employees of the City of Altamonte to use. There we go. I hope you felt it.
I felt it.
All right, next one, we're back up. We're going to be using the tube again. So the next one's an easy one. Well, I won't say easy, because you make a determination if it's going to be easy or not, but just easy in the aspect of what we're going to do. We're going to do a basic bicep curl. So as we're doing our basic bicep curl, we're going to keep our elbows on the side of your body. So as we start to do our curl, we're coming up and down. Nice and easy, up and down. What we want to refrain from doing is doing a shoulder lift as we do our bicep curl. So our elbow should not come in front of us. It's going to stay locked in on the side of your body. And the other thing is it's not way behind you. So it's right there on the side, coming all the way up, coming down. You're loose with your fingers. You don't have to have a tight grip onto the tube. Get as many reps in as you can. All right, next one's simple. Really simple. Because all you gotta do is hold it. Now I say it's simple, but after about 20 seconds, you might be like, that's not so simple.
Start shaking.
You might start shaking. So bring it right there, hold that position. It's just a hold position. We're just kind of taxing the bicep a little bit more. You're just gonna hold. Remember, if it's too easy with the single foot, you saw Kelly. Kelly went 2 feet, and that's all right too. Use what you got. Just holding. Thinking about your day. What else have you got to do today? Should be a great day. There we go. So you got to shake them just a second. We're going to go right back into those bicep curls again. See if we can make them. A little burn is okay. So a lot of times, friends, when we talk about, do you feel the burn? We're looking for a burn. It's a little bit of lactic acid built up in the muscle that's saying, help me, help me. So we want that when we're done with some of the exercises, because that means we know we've taxed the system and we've made it work. Now, if you start to feel pain, pain is different. Pain is sharp and acute. Anytime we're doing anything, if you feel that, you need to stop that activity at the time. There we go. Discomfort, that happens all the time. Sometimes coming into work is discomfort. Right there. But you'll always have a good day when it's all finished. Exercise is important. You need it in your life. Helps to reduce stress. If you're having a bad day at the time, if you go out and do some type of workout, a walk, anything, it'll help you to get through the rest of your day. So think about that. That's what exercise can do for you. Good, release. All right, that's some good biceps. All right, we're back to the tube again. Not the tube, I call this a tube. It's the band.
The band.
You just got rid of the tube. All right, so now we're really gonna start practicing our squat. Kelly's gonna go sideways. In the real position, this is called a hinge. And what Kelly's doing now, a hinge is about going backwards first. It's about pushing your hips back. This is small, it's not really big. Now on this, I want your feet a little bit shoulder width apart, maybe a little bit more, and practice on getting those hips back. Getting them back. Because our next movement is going to be basically in this hinge position. It can be a little bit more. So you got the little hinge, all it is, push your hips back, push them back. So I don't want you to think about bending, really bending at the moment. Now, we're going to walk over 4, walk back 4. It's going to look like this. 1, but you got to be down here though. So if you're up here, something's happening, but it's not what we really want. So we want you to push your hips back, get in that, and then take that little 4 steps to one side, and then 4 steps to the other side. But you want to keep those hips back in that hinge position. And then you guys can tell me where you felt this at the next day. You can leave some comments down there and say, hey, my butt feels different. And I'll say it's progress. All right, back to our hinge. Practice your hinge. Hinge isn't about bending knees. It's about pushing your hip back. That's really where it comes in. Push your hips back. So that's where you start your squat at. You start a squat there, and then you go down. But it starts with the hinge. Just a push back of the hips. You got it. Now your back is flat. We want to try to refrain from being humped. Get used to having your chest up. You guys look good. I can tell. Almost done with this one. Now back to the fun one, the side steps. So we're gonna start there. Get that hinge, boom. Oh, Kelly's ready. Kelly's ready, go. We got 4. Just back and forth. Now remember, if it's easy, you got 3 different tubes to use. And guess what? If you said, well, I took the heavy tube, you know what? You got 3 tubes. It means you could add another tube on top of that tube if you think that you don't have enough resistance. So, in that aspect, more tubes the better, right? Or more bands.
More bands.
I keep calling them tubes now. All right, we're back to the tube. All right, we're gonna be doing a tricep kickback. To do the tricep kickback, we gotta be in a lunge position. Kind of a little half lunge, not a real lunge position. We're gonna squeeze our shoulder blades together, elbows are up, and we're gonna press back. Now the only motion comes from your elbow joint. As you see Kelly in this position, the only one that moves is her elbow joint. That activates the tricep. If she was to move her shoulder, everything else gets to work. Okay? But we want to focus in on the tricep. It's really hard to get Kelly to do something incorrectly since we've worked with her so long. Now this next exercise we're going to do is going to be a little tricky. I don't even know if I showed Kelly. So, what you're going to do is, what I want you to do is I want you to take the hand, I want you to lay the tube across. I want you to stand on it. It's in your left, it's in one hand, same foot, stand on that tube. Step through. Grab the handle. Bring it up. You're going to press overhead. I'm hoping you got that. Now, if that's
You want your palm facing up.
Yep. Palm is facing up, elbows pressing forward. Now, if you're giving yourself a wedgie, you can always put your hand back there and make it a little easier. Now, if you went too hard, bring it back down, readjust to make it easier. So this is where you want a lot of tube to make it easier. If you stood right on the other handle, it'd be the easiest way to do it. All right, back to that tricep kickback. Lean it forward, chest is up, elbows up, press it back. Only thing that moves is your elbow joint.
And your head stays lifted, kind of looking out to the person in front of you, not drop down.
She's got it. We don't want to have neck problems from doing our workout. There we go. We're almost done. 3 seconds. Good. So we're going to try the other side. So it lays down in front. Whatever arm you're going to work is free right now. Then you stand on the tube. Step through it. Take it up and over. Then press up to the ceiling. Your hand can be behind to prevent the wedgie. Now, if you stood on it and you went, hey, this is easy. I made it too easy, and you don't want to stop and readjust. If you just grab that tube, you can add tension. Pressing up. Good. All right. So, we're back to the band. One more time. It's on. Okay. We kind of call this the monster walk. What you do is you get a little wide and you do 5 steps forward, 5 steps back. Kind of in a little diagonal. Don't rush it. 5, good, and then you step it back. Now, hopefully you paid attention to which leg you started with. So the next time, on the next round, I want you to start with the next leg, the next leg. How many legs do we got?
Just 2.
Just 2? Good. So, all right, now we're in a plank position. Haven't gone over plank, but we're gonna go for it real quick. So Kelly's gonna show you a plank position real quick. So plank position, the best thing to do is her hand is directly underneath her shoulder. That's where she wants to be. Now all she's gonna do is walk her legs out and in. Okay? You just out, out, in, out, out, in. That's all it is. You're in that position, good one, out, out, in. Now, it's not really wide. You don't want to go much more than shoulder width apart at the most. Now the same thing here. If you started with one leg, and if you're used to that, next round, let's use the other leg.
Right.
So this is it. We have to use the other leg. Last time I started with my right leg. To you, you're looking at that, it's like, that was his left leg. Our mirror image is stuff, so step forward. So now you're in that little hinge position, that little kind of squat position, and then you take it back. Nice and easy. Little monster walk. You're not in a hurry. Good. All right, back to that plank. We're almost done with this workout. So, which leg did you start with last time? Try to make sure that you start with the other leg as the out leg. You're like, what difference does it make? You might get 1 or 2 extra reps in. That's the difference. Now, in that plank position, your chest is right between your hands. And that should mean that your shoulder is directly underneath your hand. You want to make sure that your hips aren't way up in the air. You want to be in a strong plank position. You can see Kelly's position from there. All right, we're going to do our last thing. We take off our band. You're going to take your tube. You're going to lay it down on your mat. When you lie down, I want you to lie down with the tube at your bra line. I'll say bra line. For guys, it's your bro line. So, you're going to grab the tube. First thing we're going to do is call it dead bug. Legs are up. We're coming up here and we're pressing up to the ceiling That's it. Big chip lifted towards your feet. So it's not a crunch forward. So the tube should be going up in the air. Up in the air. There you go. Good, now just release the handles, extend your legs out straight. We're gonna do a roll-up. A roll-up is done, shoulders are up. Hands come here, you can start here. If you need your hands as a helper, that's kind of what the roll-up comes from. This gives you a little bit of extra help. Now Kelly went to the next level. The next level is to place your hands on your chest. That's gonna make it a little bit more difficult. The last thing that we have is hands behind your head. So that would be the hardest way to do that roll-up. You choose the right one for you. Good. All right, well, lying back down. We're grabbing those handles. Our legs are going up in the air. We're getting that little bit of tension with the tube. And we got that little press up. Press it up. Try to reach up to those shoelaces. Get on up there. Now, as we said before, if by adding the resistance it's too much, here's your dead bugs without the tube. You don't need it, and it's okay. Almost there. 5 seconds. Good, release. Hey, it's our last exercise, our last roll up. Pick your spot, pick what's best for you. So your workout's almost done. Hopefully everything we gave you today will give you a nice, good workout. The equipment you got is effective. It did make us work, and hopefully it made you work too. So we gotta come up on our last one. Give a high five.
Good job, everybody.
You guys have a great day. Fitness Partners, we're here for you at all the time. You know, we're right here in Altamonte Springs too. So if you want to look us up and get more information, that's all that information is there for us. If you have comments, put them down there. We have all the other workouts that are on our YouTube channel. Check those out too. And then come back next week for our next workout that we will do with the tubes and the bands.
Have a great
Thanks
day,
for coming in.
everybody.
Have a great